Greetings, dear ones. I'm Cryon of Magnetic Service. There would be those who would say, why is this entity named Cryon even here? What is the reasoning? Why a human being would sit in a chair and get messages from the other side of the veil? I'll give you the reason. Because I see a bigger picture. I know your soul. There is so much hope here, and you're not getting it from anything here, except those who are in touch with that which is at the soul level, that is so peaceful. You might say peace without there being a reason to be peaceful. Peace that passes understanding, they say. I'd like to revisit the message that was given a moment ago on the stage, on the screen, in this conference. I want to revisit because this channeling will be heard by thousands, and not just those in the room. And so I say to forgive me to those in the room, because I want to give this again, perhaps in another way, the hope of the planet. From what you're seeing to what may be a bigger truth. It's true, and those who would look up and research my partner's background, that he fell in love with God through his church. A love that he has sustained to this day. There was nothing wrong with that. A bigger truth occurred. God got bigger for him, and he moved away from the doctrine, but the love remained. And while he was there, he studied the scriptures as a young man, and he saw the prophecies that were there. Contained in that book called Revelation, the prophecy was there that about or within the years of 2000, which seemed a long way away at the time, there would occur something spectacular. Some called it the second coming, others called it the Armageddon. It would be a war, perhaps. It would be a time that the Master of Love would return to this planet, and the planet would shift greatly into benevolence and love and kindness. And to this day, that is what was expected. As my partner drifted away from the doctrine, drifted away from the scripture, he started to look around to see what else there might be. It was a greater truth, and he found it, oddly enough, from the ancients, the ones even before those who wrote the scriptures that he had studied. And as he interviewed them and they would speak to him about their cosmology, he started to recognize the same story. There would come a time on the planet, a time that was oddly similar in the years of 2000, where there would be battles of dark and light, and there would be a refreshing, perhaps, of consciousness, but the result would be a compassionate planet. Wow. The cosmology of one group of indigenous then became so similar to another who had never met the first. On opposite sides of the planet, they spoke of the precession of the equinoxes. They spoke of that which could happen to the planet, which was a choice of humanity, somehow a choice that would allow darkness evil, lack of integrity to meld away to a place where it didn't matter how many humans were here, they all understood something they didn't understand before. There was an awakening to the mechanics of kindness, of compassion, of helping one another, where inventions would race forward to be able to feed the masses, to have water for everyone. Because you can't do that when there's war. And you can't do that when the races are diametrically opposed to one another and always in turmoil. You can't do that. But you can if it's a loving planet. Oh, there would still be turmoil. I've said that before. There's always disagreements. But you don't have mass killings of one another. Could it be that this could be real? And the more my partner looked, the more he found to reinforce that. And then he realized something was going to happen. Indeed, that in these years that you sit in, listener, there would be a battle of dark and light. And it's here. It's among you. And you can recognize the subtlety of it or not. But there's a bigger question, the reason for this channel. And that is the question I'm going to give you now. Is it an accident that you're here now? Biologists will tell you it is. You're one of billions on the planet because of biology. That's it. And you make your way the best you can, and it gets harder because there's more of you. The earth is reacting in ways that they can't explain, and basically, there is no hope ahead. Some of you have seen the documentaries that say the earth is doomed. Get ready. One country in particular has decided to cut birth rate by denying certain genders. Are you an accident in all of this? Now, this is hard for some of you to understand. Souls are precious, every one, every single one. It's why it hurts your heart to see so many lose their lives in war. They seem to be born on the planet and then they're snuffed out. Pretty soon you become deadened to the numbers, perhaps. Every soul is known by God. Everyone is here on purpose for this moment. I'm talking to the ones that are listening to this channel, wondering the same thing. Is it possible that I am here for a reason? I feel I am. That's why I'm listening to the channel. Every single soul is precious, magnificent. And if you want to go into your soul and start asking the magic questions, why are things like this? What about me? What am I supposed to do? There'll be a gentle voice that may actually show you a visualization of what you said right before you came in. When you were in a different form, a form of love, attached to the Creator in a different way, not human, filled with wisdom, knowledge, the grand plan, and before you stepped into the earth, you smiled and said, I'm going to be the light that everyone expected. I'm going in. And I want to tell you, there's a difference in that statement from what a human would have said. A human would have said, I'm going to go in and I'm going to be important, or I'm going to write books, or I'm going to be a teacher, and I'm going to be all these things. And you didn't say that. You said, I'm going to be the light that they expected for this time. You are all here on purpose. No mistake. Your name goes here. Are here on purpose. God knows you. And the expectation is that you would relax, drop into your heart, feel the love of Spirit, and change to become more compassionate, more understanding, so that those around you would see that and they would change. That is spreading the light. The light is love. The light is kindness. The light is compassion. And it sounds trite, as though it could end a war. Well, it has in the past, and it will again, where humanity decides light is the way. It's contagious. It really is. Compassion and kindness. People who don't have it, who experience it, back out for a moment and say, well, it's a sign of weakness, and all these things you've been told in your cultures. Those who smile too much are weak. They're hiding something. And then they understand. They see the smiles are accurate, and then they say, I'd like some of that. I'd like some of that, please. I'd like to smile more often. You turn on the light in that dark room, and the room gets brighter. And then others discover it, and the room gets brighter. Slow it is. There are those who do not want you here. Those who represent an old energy that's very profitable, who don't want you here. It's too late for them. They've already lost. Light is winning because you're here on purpose. That's why you came in. To just sit and hold a light, to love those around you. It's a thick energy that's godly, that spreads across this place, that you can take home with you, that makes the difference for a life, for yours. If you're a young person here and have children at home, they will see it first. What happened to Mom? She's into that weird stuff. But whatever happened, I like it. That's the repeating theme of human to human. What happens when you're kind in the face of adversity, when you're compassionate when those line up against you to tell you you're wrong. And all you do is smile and say, I love you. Thank you for loving me so much that you want me to change. Thank you. I feel that love. And then you can even say, don't stop, because I feel the love. The more you try to evangelize me, the more I know you love me. Go ahead. It won't do any good, but go ahead. It's a reverse of what you think, isn't it? People try to save you from your weirdness, perhaps. It's because they love you. And they don't understand that your weirdness is something they have yet to experience, called the love of God, 24/7. Waking up happy. What a concept. No matter what the day will hold. Thinking of those who you've loved and lost and smiling instead of crying because you know they're still here. That's a change. It goes on and on. That's the message. For any of you listening to this, There is no accident. You are here on purpose. On purpose. And so it is.